way again. So I keep holding on. Before the good is gone, I know I'll never love this way again. Hold on, hold on, hold on. All right, you guys, we ain't got time for the dramatics. I was feeling led by Dion this morning. I thought I'd go on and give y'all just a little smidgen. They was just singing it on the radio. Anyway, you guys, what's up, rock stars? It's Rox, and I'm coming to you today with the review for Real Housewives of Potomac Season 4, Episode 5, I believe it is. A couple of things before we get started. I am going to be reviewing Pose. I actually binge watched the first season on Netflix, and I thought it was a cute show. I got a lot of requests for that show. I did also get a lot of requests for Love After Lockout or Love After Lockup or something. That one came in a very close second. I don't know. I just felt like maybe Pose would be a better fit. I don't necessarily want to add another reality show. I mean, I could, but, I don't feel like getting wrangled into another reality show. So Pose came at the right time. A couple of people asked for Snowfall, which I really would have loved to have done. But, not that many people ask. It leads me to think that not many people watch, which means that not many people would watch the video. So, we got to keep it. It's a business, y'all. So, and then I got a couple of other Big Little Liars, yeah, that one I did watch the first season. Didn't even know they were having a second season because I know the book was just what happened at the end of end of this first season. But they decided to carry it on, I guess, because it was super popular. And then, of course, Handmaid's Tale. I would love to do that show, but that show pisses me off so bad. The main character is, she's a character. Even though I love her and I understand her, you guys, she will have your nerves so fucking bad. I'm talking about at the end of last season, I was ready to throw my phone through the window. I was so done, but I am definitely going to watch this season, but I don't think that I'm going to review that because, my nerves, it just can't take it. Anyway, you guys, the review for Real Housewives of Potomac. Let's get to it, shall we? All right, you guys, so the show opens with the crawfish boil blow up that Giselle and Karen just had. Karen is walking out the door. They're like, Karen, please don't go. And she tells the cameraman, don't do that. Don't follow me. Because Karen is pissed. I would be pissed too if I was her. Because as she tells Candace, who followed her out, it's about respecting boundaries, Candace. And I am not going to get that with Giselle. Karen says that Giselle just wants an audience because she was fine. Then she waited until she got in front of all the rest of the girls and decided to bring this big old whatever this is that Giselle has created in her mind, to the table. And Candace was like just trying to explain to her, like, yeah, I know what you're saying, but please come on back, don't leave. And surprisingly, Karen goes back. And she goes back with a very level head. I was proud of Karen because I wouldn't have been there. Giselle, honey, listen to me. Okay, listen to this. As far as my business goes, there are some things that I am just not going to discuss with you. Okay, we're not there yet. Maybe we will in the future. And Katie was trying to actually speak for Karen as well and tell Giselle, it's business and not necessarily have anything to do with the friendship, because somehow Giselle has wrapped her friendship in Karen around the fact that Karen hasn't shared her business with her. And when breaks it down to her, for some reason Giselle understands. And she attributes it all to her therapy. What turned out to be the promise of a big blow, it kind of got settled real quickly. Everybody is just like, wow, Giselle, that therapy must really be working. Candace says that maybe she can get some help from a therapist because, her mom, who is a therapist, right? Her mom told her that she was bipolar. Even went as far as to say that she was a dumbass bitch. And I was like, oh, listen. I have a daughter. My daughter can make me plenty mad. I'm talking about mad where I feel like I could chew up some nails. She will make me so mad that I will not even want to talk to her for a good week. But I have made it a promise to myself to never talk to my daughter that way. You know, the same way I told you guys that my husband and I have never said fuck you to each other. I would never call my daughter a bitch because I feel like that's a line that you can't get that back. Like the level of respect has been, is gone once you talk to your child like that. Why would you call your child a dumbass bitch? Now, I done said that you dumb, okay? You acting dumb. You smarter than this, okay? Dumbass kids and all of that, but something about just that word bitch, like to me, if my mom ever called me that, I would not have the same amount of respect for her. And that's just me. And it always gives me like this feeling of, you know, I feel some kind of way when I hear mothers talking about their daughters in that way. Like, oh, that bitch, something. It's wrong. You know, they're listening to her, and I was like, girl, you just giving them more ammunition to kind of use against you. But I guess she was feeling like she wanted to share. Katie told her, you know, just call your mama a dumbass bitch back. I mean, at this point, like I said, the respect is not there no more. So even though I don't think that she should do that, I don't think that, you know, you call somebody a dumbass bitch and you should probably expect something like that in return. So that kind of hurt me a little bit. I felt bad for Candace for that. But whatever, the dinner is over. They go back to the hotel. Candace goes with them to the presidential suite. Katie and Giselle. Katie says that she's Barack and Katie is Michelle. Okay, I'm listening to Katie this season. I was like, so far, Katie is staying, keeping it real level. And I was just like, don't let me fuck around and start to like Katie this season. She's totally different so far. So far, at least. She's only been on 2 or 3 episodes, and she's totally different than what we had that first season of Katie. Anyway, they sit down, and Giselle, even though she said that she's past the situation with Karen, she's asking Candace, you know, kind of wanting to pick her brain about what's going on exactly with Karen. Speaking of Karen, at the same time, we see her in her room. I thought I was ready for this trip, but I don't think that I was. Maybe this was a little too soon for her. She kind of annoyed with Giselle, but trying to get back to a better place. And then her father just died, of course, and they just picked out the tombstone. So she got a lot going on. She's second guessing herself. She's even packing her stuff up, like as if she's probably gonna get the fuck up out. But back at Giselle's presidential suite, Candace says, well, you know, she's grieving. And so in the regular world, you know, where you would maybe press her for these certain things, maybe right now you could just back off and give her some space. I don't really know why it's so hard for Giselle to figure that out. Quit riding her over stupid ass shit like you didn't know about her business. Now, to change the pace of the conversation, Katie says, do you guys think that Ashley is knocked up? And Candace was like, shh. Not the way that she's been drinking, because the bitch been drinking like a sailor as far as Candace is concerned. Again, I'm not understanding this whole you can't drink when you're trying to get pregnant. However, Ashley has had some health issues, I guess, as it pertains to her possibly getting pregnant. I don't know about these health issues. I got pregnant very easily every time that I have been pregnant. Never had a problem. So I don't know about this cold uterus and, you know, whatever else that it is that they said that she has. So maybe there are some reasons why she shouldn't. But, you know, just generally, damn it, I know for a fact I was drunk when I conceived Joe. Shit, it was right before the wedding. I had no idea I was pregnant, but it was a whole bunch of celebrations. I'm telling you, I ain't never had so much fun a month before I got married, child. I had woo! Okay, won't even go there. But I'm just listening to this conversation about Candace, and I was just like, now Candace is usually not quite so judgmental. This kind of, when I'm listening to her from last season to this season, I feel like she's trying to kind of get her foot, you know, a little bit more firmly planted amongst the messiness of these women. Okay, because she wasn't so much like this last season. I was just sitting there listening to her like, how about everybody fucking worry about their own uterus and their own abilities to have a fucking baby and not be worried about if the girl want to drink the way she want to drink. How about we try that? The next morning, Ashley is in her room and she got her period. Okay, she's on the phone with her mom. She's telling her. So she was like, you know what? Bitches, bottles up. Since, she's not pregnant, she might as well just go on and have a good ass time. We in New Orleans. What do we do there other than party, drink? We'll pick that shit back up when we get back to Potomac. So let the girl have a good time. I never thought that I would kind of agree with Ashley. Stranger things have happened, haven't they? Now we see Karen and Monique speaking. I guess they're all about to, go out for the day. So before they meet with the rest of the girls, Karen and Monique are downstairs, and Karen is just talking to Monique like, you look so good, you look great. Monique is 6 months pregnant. Her mindset is chill this season. I think this is the best. This is the most that I really liked. I've always liked Monique. Last season, she kind of did a few things, but I've always liked her. In this season, now that she's pregnant, she can't drink and everything. She's just sitting back and watching. But they were talking about, anyway, her miscarriage before, and now she's having this rainbow baby. I had never heard of the term, but they say that rainbow baby is when you have a baby after you had a miscarriage. So she's having a rainbow baby party, and she's going to invite her mother-in-law. She hasn't spoken to her mother-in-law since, I assume, that last little time the mama was on the show. I can't wait for mama-in-law to come back. We're going to see what mama-in-law got to say this time. After they finish having their breakfast, they're waiting for the rest of the girls. So Giselle comes down, and then we get Katie, and then we get Ashley, Candace, okay, the gang's all here. Well, the usual gang who can happen to be on time. Robin is always on CPT. The bitch never can be on time to anything. I feel like they should dock her pay for this. It is so fucking annoying when people always are late. I understand shit happens every now and again, but it didn't got to the point where they don't even try to wait around for Robin. That is where me and Giselle see each other, eye to eye, because Roxanne will leave your motherfucking ass in a minute. You go on and take you an Uber to where we going. We'll see you later, okay? And don't let me be hungry. Shit. Ooh, ask Debbie and Roshan. Roxanne will get the fuck in that car and leave. Because my stomach, sometimes I don't be rational after that. So they get on the bus. They're going to the plantation. They're going to meet her dad there. He's going to take them around. I forgot to mention Candace's jean panties. It wasn't bad. Once I saw the back, her shorts don't look as short in the back as they did in the front because her shirt was so long. But I was just like, girl, we going to the plantation. You look like you going to the bar, the lounge. Okay, it would have been cute for the lounge. Maybe we can just have a little bit more, respect for our ancestors. You got Queenie up there just rolling around in her grave, shit. Anyway, they get on the bus. They're on their way to the plantation. When they get there, it's a if you've been to a plantation property, it is a very sobering. It is just. When you go there, it's just this whole feeling of, oh my God, I'm on the same grounds that you just know what happened there. All of the bloodshed, all of the death, all of the hurt, all of the pain. So even when I was watching it again on TV, I just had that same feeling as when we went before. And it was the same feeling for them, I think, being there. They had their museum. The dad is taking them around and showing them all of the artifacts of the people, the slaves and the things that they wore. I also went to a museum in, where was that? Charlotte. Yeah, in Charlotte, in North Carolina, I believe it was. We went to the slave, what was it called? You guys know where I'm talking about. It was actually the place where they traded the slaves off, when they would come in and they would auction them off. Damn, I cannot remember the place. But anyway, they had a lot of artifacts there, and just to see the handcuffs and the chains and the shit that had spikes sticking out of them, and the things that they had to wear, and it's a horrible thing to see, but something I think that everybody needs to see just to kind of really get because you don't really understand when you're reading it. You have got to see how big and heavy and cumbersome and painful these artifacts are. But anyway, I'm getting off track here. But it's a lot of that. Giselle's dad, he was a civil rights activist back in the 60s, and he was with Martin Luther King. He lives here in Atlanta now. I'm assuming that he still kind of dabbles in civil rights and all of that. He takes them on the tour. I thought it was very shady of him when he talked about, the whole bartering process and when women needed to borrow money. And he says, Karen, you know about that, don't you? And I was just like, now I know you're trying to be funny. And Karen didn't say anything, but it was specifically him pointing out to Karen, like, it was just like, why are you doing this? Now, you ain't got shit to do on this show. Your messy ass daughter, petty and all of that, obviously she's told you things or you've seen on the show, so now you kind of do a little dig. And from then on, you can see that Karen was not feeling Giselle daddy no fucking more. And I wouldn't have either, because I was just like, that was so unnecessary. And she couldn't get right after that. All right, she just stayed quiet pretty much the whole time. I was just like, yeah, that not cool. Okay. Oh, you know what? I skipped a part on the bus. Let me rewind a little bit. On the bus, when they were on their way there, didn't you find the conversation interesting that they were having about the ancestry.com or the DNA, where you send in your DNA, and Robin had sent her DNA in, and we flashed back to the argument that Robin had with Katie back in the day when Katie was saying that, she's mixed as well. And Robin was like, I'm not mixed. My parents are black. Okay. And Katie was trying to convince her that she had white in her because she had light eyes and she had light skin. And they was going back and forth. Well, in the bus, they find out that she actually does have European descent in her. And which I'm sure a lot of black people do. Because we know, like we found out at the tour, when they were on the tour, that the slave masters was raping the slaves left and right. Okay, so it's all these babies that were produced that have white blood in them. So, but she was just sort of like, yeah, well, kind of do have European in my blood, and Katie was just like, oh, and how much, Katie wanted to say like, bitch, I told you. But like Robin said, it's a little different because Katie's parents, one is white and the other one is black, as opposed to Robin's is just in the bloodline somewhere along the way. So I guess, they can agree to, they can kind of meet in the middle on that argument. But again, Katie could have really gone somewhere with that, but she kept it cool. And I was like, okay, Katie, you got another point, girl. But getting back to the tour, they go out on the grounds and they go to an area where there's statues of, they're talking about babies that were either stillborn or died shortly after they were born, or little children that had died on the grounds just from the environment and what they had to live through, and being in cold ass sheds in the winter, and hot ass sheds in the summer, and maybe starving, just all of those things. And we've got Ashley, who's trying to get pregnant, Candace, who's not real sure if she wants to have kids right now, Monique, who is pregnant, the rest of them that have kids. You can all relate and think about how heartbreaking it would be as a mother to lose your child like that. So very, very deep, okay, and heavy, and people are crying and all of that. We get through this whole tour. Everybody is a little bit more educated about it, for the tour. Thank you, Daddy. Giselle Daddy, who to me still is petty, and I ain't really feeling old Giselle Daddy because of that. And they get on back to the hotel. They're all going to get dressed up. They're going to go out. They're going to party. It's not Mardi Gras time, but we're going to act as if it is. So everybody's getting dressed. Giselle, she goes in there to see what Ashley is wearing, and she has the nerve to talk about Ashley's clothes being too young, says her 12-year-old daughter. I said, bitch, now I know motherfucking well that you not trying to read somebody on a young-ass outfit. Girl, you had on this short-ass romper just last week or something. I said, girl, stop it. They getting ready. We see Karen on the phone with Uncle Jessup. I am absolutely drained. I don't think that I should go out with the girls. I don't want to be a wet rag or a wet towel. So Karen has decided she is going to stay in. We see Monique. Even Monique got her freakum dress on. Again, she's pregnant, so she's just like, I'm not going to drink. I'm just going to sit here and we'll watch the girls. We all start meeting downstairs. Child, that Giselle come walking across the room. I said, oh my goodness, do she have baby knees? Did you guys see? Girl, them knees was so fat. I was just like, girl, it's just like you can push them like ploo, 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 ploo. I was so shocked. I was just like, now she's still small, but them knees, girl, them knees. You know, as you get older, the giveaway is your knees, your hands, and your throat area. Those are the areas that will give your age away. I don't give a fuck what that face look like. Anyway, the girls all start getting down there. You know, they got on their party Mardi Gras outfits. Giselle goes on the Instagram and she sees that Karen is on her Instagram Live. Now she's upset because I thought Karen said that she wasn't, you know, feeling up to it, that she said that it was too heavy of a day, but obviously she can get on Instagram Live. How long do you think she's going to be on Instagram Live? 10 minutes? She can then get off of Instagram Live and lay her ass down. Or maybe she just don't want to fucking be around you because she really wanted to cuss your old ass daddy out, but she was trying to stay respectful. Or maybe she is grieving. The whole thing is, why do you care this much? Everything is, you're supposed to be my friend, then you're supposed to... I'm just so sick of Giselle. Because she just always wants to be mad. She just always wants to be mad. Then she gonna say with the broke down Bo Derek hair. I still can't believe they let Karen get on this show with that wig. But I was just like, Giselle, you so wrong. You so wrong. Okay, but whatever. The girls go to the bar and, you know, it's shots. At first, Ashley's like, please don't tell Michael that I, you know, had a shot. Candace's like, no, we won't say anything. Okay. So there's shots all around. I mean, you're in New Orleans. You're at the bar. You're not pregnant. Why not? Okay. So everybody's drinking, having a good ass time. I actually like to see the girls when they're like this, when everybody's getting along. Damn, motherfucker, can you get away from my goddamn car? He just standing here blowing. Do you not see? Where was I? After they finish having a good time on Bourbon Street, they take it on back to the hotel, and they all still together. This is where I always say, you know, this is when it's best to just everybody go to their fucking room. That we done had a good time. We done all stayed on one accord. Okay, we done got along. We ain't got into no fights or nothing. So everybody go to their room. But see, when you drunk already, it's hard to, you know, it's hard to make that distinction. So Giselle goes and gets some more alcohol, some tequila and margarita mix and Coronas. Okay, we fixing to continue to party on here, and the shit starts to go left. But not before we all decide that we gonna show our titties for these beads. You know, Giselle's like, I got a whole bunch of beads. Okay, so you know, who at first shows they titties a little bit, all right, and she kind of throws, honey, that damn Katie. And this was when I was just like, I think I'm gonna like Katie this season. That damn Katie, she opened her shirt, and bitch, if it wasn't a full flat flapjack, just the flapping along, she was like, excuse me, I've had kids. I was like, girl, that's exactly why you should not have done that. But honey, she was just so free and jumping up and down. And bitch, when I tell you, look, they look just like this. She got her beads. Okay, now we all laughing. Monique was like, I think I'm gonna like Katie. I said, girl, if you would have been here a couple of seasons ago, you would have hated her. We somehow get on the subject of pregnancies and how, you know, Giselle says, Candace tells us that, you know, you were trying, you know, supposedly to get pregnant. And Ashley was like, well, what, you don't think that I am trying to get pregnant? She says to Candace, from the way that Giselle said it. And Candace was like, well, I'm just saying, if I were you and I was having, you know, issues, you know, I would not be drinking if I was trying to get pregnant. And Monique was like, bitch, I'm not no crackheads that's pregnant. What the hell? What you talking about? I was like, thank you. Because it just, what are you talking about is what we talking about. But again, maybe because she has these health issues or whatever. But I was just like, Candace, now you done picked the wrong argument to be so strong about. Because everybody is sitting there looking at you like, what are you talking about? You can't get drunk and still try to get pregnant? And what she ended up doing was giving Ashley the opportunity to get so indignant, like, what do you mean? How can you say something like that? You know, I've had a miscarriage and of course I want to get pregnant, okay? And just because I've been drinking, who are you to judge me and all? Okay, she gave Ashley that chance, okay, and made herself look like she was the one that was dumb. All right, now Candace was just like, bitch, now I ain't a killer, but don't push me, because Candace has this whole thing that her husband said at the party a couple of weeks ago in her arsenal, and she's dying to say it. I was just like, girl, just go on and say it, because every time you get into the confessional, you gonna keep on telling us like, I know what he says, and don't let me say something about him. It's just like, girl, just, you want to say it, go on and say it. We don't need you to tell us every week that you know what Michael said, okay? Who dick he want to suck? Just get it out. Alright, you guys, that's it. I am about to get me a Big Mac meal, and then I'm gonna go back to work. How's that? Make sure that you rate, comment, and subscribe to the channel. I'm itsrox. The channel is for itsrox, and everything else I do will be in the bottom bar. Alright? Alright. So I hope that you have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day, and I plan on doing the same. Until next time, rock stars. Bye.